Well, hello there. How are you? My name's Don, and welcome to Conversational Shaving. Let's see. Well, first of all, I've already prepped my face with the Yulay pre-shave oil right there. All right, and excuse me, my razor is going to be the Star razor, single-edge razor sent to me with a couple of other razors and some blades by Randy Wright of Polar Shaving. And in there, I have a gem stainless blade on its first use. And in honor of Randy Wright from Polar Shaving YouTube channel and Facebook group of the same name, I'm going to be using this. It is Chiseled Face Cryogen shaving soap, which is a very cold menthol soap. It has about the most menthol in it of any soap out there. And I've already lathered my Polar Shaving Group brush from Frank Shaving. I have the synthetic model. I've already lathered that, and well, let me go ahead and, well, I'm going to go ahead and put kind of a paste on my face like I saw Randy do, and then I'll add some water to the brush and kind of get that going on my face. I hope you're all doing well out there. Hope your week's going well. So we start out with kind of a paste here, according to a technique I saw Randy do in one of his videos. Start with a sort of a paste. I am kind of flinging lather here and there, but it's all right. Then we wet the brush a little bit. And I might wet the brush just a little bit more. There we go. Yeah. Got something starting to form here. I haven't used this cryogen in a minute, but I can feel the menthol. I can definitely feel that it's cool. Unlike Randy, I won't be using cold water to do this shave. I'll still do it with warm water. I am sold on cold, as he likes to say, but I'm not that sold on it. I still like to use warm water with my shaves. But I can definitely understand why someone would like a good menthol shave every now and then. Or about every day, as Randy does it. But thanks, Randy, for the razors and the blades. Two of the razors I already had, and one of them I gave my old version of. It's a, it's a gem clog-proof razor. The one he sent me was in slightly better condition than the one I had, so I gave my old one just about an hour ago to a neighbor here who I had gotten into this hobby. So I think he'll enjoy that, and I think I'll enjoy this. Let me wipe my hands off a little bit. That's a pretty good lather. I'll go ahead and wet the razor here and get started. This will be the first pass with the grain, so here we go. About a day's worth of growth here, just under maybe. Oh yeah. Nice and smooth so far. All right. Excuse me while I rinse the razor. On my face, this razor seems to work best at about a 20-degree angle. It might be different on my neck. Excuse me. I don't know if this is a newer gem blade or a new old stock one. I'm going to guess it's a newer one because it was very shiny and in very good condition. And I don't know if anyone would be able to tell. I took a little bit of Flitz polish to this. I just did a very, well, it's not perfect, but I did a very cursory, quick little polishing up of it. And yeah, the handle turned out better than the here on the head. I kind of get a little bit of tarnish or something. I almost need a buffer and a drill. One of those buffers that goes on a drill or on a machine that you might have in your workshop or whatever. I'm sure that would make it even nicer, a lot nicer probably. I was just polishing it with an old washcloth. And I would apply the polish with a paper towel and rub the razor a little bit, and then I would kind of finish it up with a washcloth. Oh, I forgot to do this up here. Oh well, I'll get that too. Okay, I'll go ahead and do this. I usually try, on the first couple of passes anyway, I try to get the chin here or under the lip and then above the upper lip, under my nose first before I go to the neck. On the third pass, I'll usually do my neck before I do under, well, around the mouth, under the mouth and above, under the nose. Just my way of doing it. I don't know if there's a correct way. Excuse me. Boy, that cold from that cryogen sure lingers in a good way. In fact, my eyes are kind of burning a little bit. Not too bad, but wow. Ooh. That menthol, wow, it's powerful. So if you like a cold shave, cold as in menthol, you'll like that cryogen, I think, anyway. It's pretty much every bit what I've heard it was. And I've had my tub of cryogen for a while. I just don't use it every day. I meant to use it more in the summertime, because summer is a good time to chill out, literally. Okay, ooh, nice so far. Very, wow, what a lot of menthol. I'm going to disappear, come right back. I'll be back for that second pass, which will be across the grain. Okay, it's time to go across the grain now. Let me wet the razor again. Here we go. Thanks again to Randy Wright, the Kentucky gentleman from Polar Shaving, for sending me the razor, the blades. And thanks for the shout out that you did, Randy, about my channel a couple of videos back in your catalog of videos there. Keep going. Oh yeah. Well, I would say what's going on around here, but there's not a lot, just the weather again. Cooler than usual temperatures. Cooler than what is considered normal. We're supposed to get a lot of rain. And we got some last night. But again, a lot of the really bad, heavy rain, the bad weather, went around us. Yeah, I'm not being too conversational today. I'm just enjoying this nice shave. This is I hope I said correctly, this is a star razor. I might have said Jim by accident. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look, but this is branded as a star razor. I have one that is exactly like this, except it's brass colored. This is more, well, it's brass plated, I think. This is more, I believe, chrome plated for the most part. And anyway, and that other one is a gem. This is a star, so I'm proud to add this to my collection. I'll have to send Randy something someday. At least, I don't know. I'll think of something. I'm pretty greedy about all my stuff. I want to keep all my stuff, but sometimes I do end up with duplicates of things. So we'll see what happens. Excuse me. Even though that leather has kind of disappeared, well, it's nice slickness right there. Slickness and smoothness and protection. Especially so, oddly enough. No, in all fairness, I'm using a synthetic brush, and it's a good brush, but this soap, and I'll show it again here, I would almost recommend you use a stiffer brush with this, maybe a boar brush or one of your stiffer badger brushes, which is what I think I used before when I used this soap. Excuse me. It's funny to me, or maybe not so funny or odd, how it seems like, at least in my experience, different soaps work better with different types of brushes. Some soaps and creams work really well, I think, with a synthetic brush. Some, it seems to me, work better with a badger or a boar. And then there's even, well, there's horsehair and different types of badger and boar. And some soaps are more finicky than others. In a way, this is a finicky soap, but that's, again, just my experience. Somebody else might say, well, that's not a finicky soap at all. You haven't used a finicky soap until you've used such and such, you know. So, yeah, that's feeling better there, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to pop out, pop back in, and I'll do the third pass, which will be against the grain. Now, it's kind of funny, again, and third pass, there does seem to be some lather left in this brush, but what I'm getting is a lather that looks like it's dissipating, but yet at the same time it's leaving a not all that bad film, which is kind of slick and protective. So, I don't know that I've had this particular experience with this soap before, and I've only used this soap a couple of times before. I have so many soaps that even a good soap may not come around in the rotation that often. And yeah, anyway, here I go. I'm going to wet the razor again, and we'll do the third pass against the grain. I'll start here in the face. Good audio feedback today. Randy also sent me a 3-piece Gillette ball tip razor. I did have 2 of those. I had one I bought on eBay, one that my friend David had given me, and then David ended up trading me an aftershave. He was going to trade me 2 aftershaves, but I already had one of the aftershaves. So he traded me some Adidas aftershave, which was fine with me, and he asked if he could have that razor back, and then he commenced doing this hobby. Excuse me. And it still kind of amazes me, the things that will and won't work when I'm shaving. And then I've had people give me advice. some people were batting like 500, which in baseball, in actual baseball, would be great to be batting 500, you know. But now they're about 50% as far as, as far as if their advice worked well for me or not. Even that certain Welsh shaver who I call the Great One because I'm not worthy to speak his name, he's been that influential on me. He had given me advice when I asked for it over the years, and sometimes his advice would not work well the first or second time I tried it. Then maybe I'd keep going for it, try a third time, and then it'd be like, whoa, it's like the heavens would open up and angels would descend on my shoulders and it'd be just wonderful. Excuse me. So, I don't know. From shave to shave, things can be different. You know, what did I do? Did I go, I think I never went across on my neck. I think when I was doing my across the grain pass, I think I went that way or something. I just noticed that, and that's actually how I used to shave when I first started this hobby. I always wet shave, but I used to wet shave with a disposable or a cartridge. And when I started wet shaving with a traditional safety razor, well, I don't know why. Maybe I figured my hair pattern on my neck grew differently or something, but on this third pass I would go across the grain instead of against it, or at least, instead of upwards. Excuse me. Yeah. So I'm actually, I guess, technically, maybe, unless my neck area is way different than a lot of people's, I'm actually going across the grain when this is the pass, excuse me, that I usually do against the grain. I think. I don't know. I kind of got lost there. Sometimes I do better when I'm not trying to talk or do a video. In fact, invariably, my lathers will seem to be better, in a lot of cases anyway, because I'm busy concentrating more on the lather and everything else. Okay, let's see. I got a couple more things to do, although you can't tell that I have any protection there. And there's not much left on the brush, but there's still, well, excuse me a second. I guess I didn't do this already. It's funny, you can't see any lather or anything there, but there's great slickness and protection that might tell you something about this soap. Okay, I will be back directly for pickup time. A little bit of a pasty lather and not too consistent, but I guess I don't care. I'll try to be less heavy-handed on my neck. I know when I get excited, like sometimes even when I'm having a good shave and enjoying myself, especially if I'm talking to someone like I am to y'all, not that there usually is anyone in here to talk to, but, well, anyway, sometimes when I get excited, I get a little too heavy-handed with the razor, especially down here where I tend to get the most irritation. So, anyway, so far I'd give this a 4 out of 5 as far as the shave overall so far. Mostly comfortable, mostly efficient, especially for one of these single edge razors, which do not always seem to be as efficient as the double edge in my opinion. Excuse me a second. Now, for brevity's sake, I didn't do this last lathering. Well, I didn't do it as thoroughly as I did the initial lathering before I started here. The lathering of the brush, that is, because I took a full minute. I went out there and looked at the clock on my radio and let a full minute go by while I was lathering in the tub that the cryogen came in. Let me put the lid back on that and show you one more time, at least once before I do recaps. Good stuff. I lathered it for a full minute, even though it's not what you'd call a hard soap. Hard soaps do usually require that you lather them for a minute. Okay, let's see. I'm going to do one more pass here on my neck. I'll try to get these trouble spots. I'm certainly getting good slipness. Good slickness and a good menthol feel with this soap. I want to get some trouble spots here, and then I want to be done with this portion of the shave. In fact, I think I'm real close to calling this done here. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Now I'm going to rinse the razor, rinse the brush, and so forth, and I'll be back with our good friend, Mr. Towel. Okay, here's our good friend, Mr. Towel. Oh, let's see, where am I here? Ah, yeah. I'm pretty satisfied with this shave. And the soap is very interesting. Like, I would only give my lather this time I don't know, a 3 or a 4 out of 5. But even with a lesser lather, that soap is just so slick and protective. It's so nice. Maybe most or all that I'll use, or what I have left, the Humphreys unscented witch hazel, and put a little bit of that in the hand here. Still got some left in there for another shave or two. I'll get that going. Yeah. Some sting from the little bit of alcohol in there, but not bad. With that menthol, it's almost the kind of sting you would want if there is such a thing. It's that good. Nice products and gear today. That's pretty nice. And wipe my hands off here. And then I'm going to apply some of this Epsilon Blue Mediterranean aftershave right there. And I'll uncap that. I had that lid on there pretty tight. And I'll pour some in my hand here. And that's probably enough there. Nice restrictor on that bottle so that it doesn't pour out everywhere. Okay, let's see. A little on the temples, behind the ears. Oh yeah, a little bit on the wrists. And here I go. Another of that kind of cold sting feeling. I know the sting is because I got a little heavy-handed on the neck there, but that's okay. I could have used a PAL or PAL blade instead of one of those gems that Randy sent me, but I thought I would use one of those gems since he was nice enough to send some blades along with the razors he sent me. That's Randy Wright again from Polar Shaving. I'll try to put a link to his YouTube channel down below there. Okay. Wow, this is really nice so far. Okay, then Let me, before I finish up, I got one more thing I'm going to apply here, but let me also do some recaps, because I meant to do that before I commenced to finish up the shave. Before I started off camera, I used some of the, it's the Yulay pre-shave oil there. And my razor has been this Star single edge razor. And then there is a gem stainless blade that was on its first use. Okay, and let's see here. Oh, my soap has been this, the Chiseled Face Cryogen shaving soap. Very, very cold menthol feel to this. And not a bad mild aroma scent there. I lathered that with this. It is a Frank shaving brush from the Polar Shaving Group on Facebook. I don't know if you'd be able to read that there, but you might just be able to see the polar bear there. Okay. And I applied some of this, the Humphreys unscented witch hazel. After that, and speaking of recaps, I need to put the cap back on this bottle. After that, I used the Epsilon Blue Mediterranean aftershave. It comes in a glass bottle like that. And finally, to finish up here, I'm going to apply some of the Nivea Men Sensitive Cooling aftershave balm. We'll uncork that, so to speak, and yeah, okay, that's more than enough right there. I got probably way more than I need, but that's okay. Yeah, I got a lot there. And I'll be shiny for a few minutes, but one good thing about this Nivea balm, all the Nivea balms seem to, the aftershave balms anyway, seem to soak in. They absorb very well. More than one person has noted that. I did have somebody tell me not that long ago, she said that I had great skin, and I hope that that has something to do with these balms and things I use. It may not, I may be just kind of a baby face, but anyway, I guess it can't hurt. Some people are afraid of parabens, but these Nivea balms in the glass bottles like this, I don't believe they have parabens anymore. Although this particular one might, because I ended up, I didn't see it at my local Walmart. I think it was there later, or I couldn't get to Walmart for some reason. So I just ordered this off eBay. It came from India, but it's also sold here in the States and elsewhere. The Nivea Men Sensitive Cooling Aftershave Balm. Well, I've kind of gone long here. I gotta cut out some of the fat here. This might be over 30 minutes, but thank you all for joining me. Thank you, Randy Wright, again from Polar Shaving. I gotta get out of here. Bye. Peace.